Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Ben, and you're listening to episode 16 of the PB and Gainz podcast. So today's podcast is going to be the last one of 2015 of the year. So that's really awesome. It's really been cool to build this thing up and talk to you guys every single week. So hopefully you've enjoyed it, and we have some big stuff planned for 2016. So moving forward, I did a little bit of searching for a good quote, and I think the one that I found you guys will enjoy. It's from Gaiman, and it goes like this. I hope that in this year to come you make mistakes. Because if you're making mistakes, then you're making new things, trying new things, learning, living, pushing yourself, changing your world. You're doing things you've never done before, and more importantly, you're doing something. So chew on that for a bit, and then we're going to get started with the podcast. All right, everybody, what is up? Thank you for giving me some of your time listening to the PB and Gainz podcast. So, talking today about getting better, about how to improve this year and make it the best year of your life. And so it's at that time where everybody starts doing their resolutions and like, oh, in 2016, I'm going to blank. And they're doing a bunch of different things that they have a bunch of ideas for how they want the year to turn out. And I really want to make sure that you do those things that you have planned. You accomplish those resolutions. You accomplish those goals. And this episode is, like, as always, just as much for me as it is for you. So kind of get into some of these different things. We're going to have some good steps and then some fun ones to really end on. So number one, what I want you to do is to think a little bit. So we're going to start off with a big picture deal. And I want you to think about 2016, about what you want to accomplish in 2016. What do you want it to be like for you? And you're going to have to use it in one word. Like, explain to your own mind in 2016 what you want it to be like. And you can write that thing down. You can type it out. You can text it to yourself and say, in 2016, I will be blue, whatever it is. As an example, I'll give you my 2016. In 2016, I will be aggressive. Not like I'm going to fight everybody, but aggressive in what I do in my dealings with people. I'm typically somebody that is a little bit more laid back. I'm typically somebody that is a little bit more reserved and don't always voice exactly what it is that's going on in my head. So for me, aggressiveness means that I will be more authentic. I will then go after things a little bit more aggressively, whether it is in business, whether it is in personal health, whether it is physical health, anything like that. I will attack it in everything that I do to make sure that I am successful. Because yes, we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but there's going to be the things that we screw up on, we're going to fail at. We all have them. But at least I will be able to know that I did my best and I attacked it instead of just being like, oh, well, we're just going to see how it works out, which has kind of been my motto. It's like, oh, well, you know, we'll make it work. We'll do this. And so really attacking 2016. So for me, like I said, the word is aggressive. So for you, would love to hear what some of these are. Like, if you give me feedback, you you tweet them to me, you find me in, on Periscope, and you just let me know, because I would love to see what you have planned for your 2016. So yeah, that word will guide you in everything else that you do. So give it a little bit of thought. Don't just come up with it on the fly and be like, oh, 2016 is going to be unicorns, because they're not real. That'd be a bad place to start. But just get into it and say, like, oh, 2016 is going to be something for me that is awesome, fantastic, and how you're going to do it. So it's one word that explains it all. So except for me, it's aggressive in everything that I do. So yeah, 2016 for me. Boom. Now moving on to you. And getting into a few of these different topics, I really want you to think about, you can really dive into them in a number of ways. You can make it as deep as you want. You can stay on the surface level of these different issues, topics, discussions, but I really do hope, and I want to challenge you in the fact that I hope you do dive a little bit deeper into it, and you do take some time to think about what you can do in this upcoming year. Even if this was like March 18th, I still would want you to be able to look at it and say, okay, for the rest of this year, this is what I'm going to do, starting today, because it's all a series of small steps. That's what my coach in high school used to say, is like, little things turn into big things. And so using that philosophy, whether it's 1% better every day, whatever it is, it's the attempt to do things in a small manner will then turn into big things for you and then for your goals. So let's get into it. The first thing I think you can do to really help 2016 be the best thing for you is to prioritize yourself. Now, you're going to look at that and say, that sounds awfully selfish of you, Ben. And you know what? That's fine. Because I think at times we need to be a little selfish. That's kind of counterculture where everyone's like, oh, help everybody else. Well, guess what? If you are sick, if you are lazy, hurt, however you want to describe it, if you are not in the best shape possible for yourself, you cannot give people the best of you. So basically, you're kind of cheating everybody else. You're cheating the world of the greatest version of yourself. And that's like the biggest theft in history. And I'm not being sarcastic when I say that. I'm being completely honest. If you are not you, and you are not the best version of you, we are all cheated. Think about that. Because if you are always stressed out, if you're always tired, if you're always, annoyed, well, guess what? We see that. It comes through. It comes through the lens. And then that becomes our reality, our version of you. Then people are less likely to ask you for things, to talk to you, to invite you to different things, to want to be around you because they see this negative person constantly always around, and they don't want that in their lives because, we'll get into that a little bit later, but eliminating clutter, eliminating people, eliminating whatever it might be becomes a big aspect of this. So prioritize yourself, put yourself first, get sleep. Tell people, no, I'm not going to go out because I need to sleep. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not going to miss anything. I know we all have this fear of missing out, like fear of something better is going to happen when we go to bed. We're going to miss this TV show. We're going to miss, I always say that with sports. If I'm not watching it, what am I going to miss? And, ultimately, as I've learned, is having a daughter and a wife and things like I'm not always able to sit around and watch sports like I did in high school and college. That really, I'm not missing a ton. And so just don't let that fear of missing out on whatever it might be keep you from prioritizing the basic needs of sleeping, eating well, and moving. It doesn't mean you have to go join a gym and go do all this stuff. You can work out in your own home. I guarantee it. It doesn't mean you have to go buy this crazy health food. No, it just means cutting out a lot of the bad crap. You don't have to go do anything crazy for sleep. Turn down the AC a little bit and then get a pillow that is comfortable, get a mattress that is comfortable, and sleep. Turn off your phone, sleep. Prioritize yourself. And if you are better, the world is better. You see it differently. We all have our own reality. I always tell people that in conversations. Like we each have this own reality, this own prism in which we see life and the world unfold. And if you have more energy, and if you slept, and if you are the best version of yourself, well, guess what? You're going to see the world a little bit differently. If you don't feel well all the time, you're tired, you miss out on whatever it is because you're sick again. Think about that. So prioritize yourself, and you might think of it as selfish in the short term, but in the long term, I guarantee you, it's the most generous gift you can give us and give the world is the best version of you. So prioritize yourself. Don't make excuses like, I have to help. Well, no, prioritize yourself. And then if you tell people and spin it in a way that is beneficial, optimistic, like I can help you better if I'm better. Do that. So that is step 1 for 2016. Prioritize yourself. Do something fun you want to do. Get active. Get sleep. Eat better. Eat like you give a damn. Treat yourself like you give a damn. Prioritize yourself. Oh, that was big. Okay. So moving on. 2 for me that I really wanted to pass along to you guys is to truly connect. It's, the irony of this world is that we are more connected technologically than we've ever been. I can text my grandmother. That's a weird thing, but I can text my grandmother. We have email, we have phones, we have Snapchat, podcasts. We have a number of things out there that we can make ourselves busier with. But at the same time, we're not really connected. More people are depressed and lonely out there than ever. There's people are sad, people are isolated, even though we're more connected. And so when I'm saying truly connect, I'm saying like look people in the eye. I'm saying go and do things that build community. I think that's really the key word on this is community. In conversations with my good friend Jeffrey Smith of the Berry Farm, we've talked a lot about this, is community, building a community, and that's the importance of it all. And isolating yourself is not going to build a healthy community. In turn, you do not get to interact with people in the most beneficial way possible. They don't get to interact with you. It kind of goes back to prioritizing yourself. Like, if you're not good, then every interaction you have is not good. If you are just kind of like half-assing your conversations with people, you don't look them in the eye, you don't acknowledge them properly, your eyes are glued to Snapchat or Twitter to see the latest Kardashian update, then you're missing out. And you're not able to connect in life, and you're not going to be a part of a community. And so truly connect. Go do something. Go join a group. I don't know. Go join a gym. Go join a CrossFit box. Go do something that connects you. Go join like a knitting club. I don't know. Do something where you can connect with people over a common interest and do something that is going to benefit your mental well-being, going back to prioritizing yourself. And then in turn, you get to connect. If you go volunteer at a shelter, that's awesome. Go do something. Connect with people. Call your grandparents. Call someone you haven't spoken with in a long time. Put your phone away at 6 o'clock in the evening. I don't know. Pick a number, whatever time. Just do that. Truly connect with somebody, and then watch as they get back you in life, which is, for some people, if you're a good person, of course, they're going to want that interaction. They're going to want to be able to have those conversations. They want to be able to tell stories with you. They want to hear your stories. They want to see you make eye contact. And all these different little things really play a huge role in how you can be better and impact others in a better, more meaningful way. So that's all about connecting. And I think that's one of the most underrated aspects of living is being connected. And so I really hope that you can take that to heart and you can go in and join something, or you can go create something, maybe a group with some friends. You guys go do something every month, maybe. I don't know. Just connect and get away from the cell phones and get away from all the fake connectivity that is out there. So that is 2. 3, it's to make art and ship it. Now, I don't mean that you think you're Picasso and you just go and create all these crazy, wacky paintings. No, don't do that. Or you know what? Hell, if you want to, go do it. But I'm saying is do something meaningful to you. I talked about knitting. Maybe you want to knit. I don't know, knit and then give it to somebody. Or you like to bake. You like to cook. Go cook and then get somebody else involved. Ship it. Ship it means putting it out there into the world. Seth Godin is huge on this, and he's the one that got me turned on to the idea of shipping things. And so much like this podcast, like I could record 18 different times and then be afraid that every single one's not good enough. But until I ship it and put it out there, the world, maybe it was going to be great. I don't know. Maybe a blog I wrote a long time ago, like I was always afraid to do it, so I never put it out there, and it just sat there. Maybe that could have been something great. I don't know. But you have to look at it and say that there's these big things that are available to you, these aspects of art that you can do. And really, art kind of falls into anything that you wish to create. And so that could be anything. It could be a conversation. It could just be how you talk to people. It really can. And so think of that when you think of art. It's just something that is expressive of you and your personality. So something that is expressive of you and your personality that you get to put into the world, that the world then gets to be better for. So make something, do something. And it could be teaching. It could be talking to youth. It could be, I don't know, whatever it is. That art that you have, that expression of you that only you can do it and then put it out into the world. Don't be afraid of it. If you always wanted to write a blog, then do it. Don't wait for the right time, because the right time is never. So just keep that in mind. Just make art, ship it. And this one you could really spin a number of ways. And I really want you to get creative with it and look at it and say, okay, what is out there that I could do, that I would love to do, that would improve my creative outlet. I don't know. Maybe it's building something with wood. I don't know. Maybe it's something, but go and do that. And then, give it to somebody. Donate it somewhere. Put it out into the internet, tweet it out. I don't know, whatever it is, but make art and ship it. And this is going to lead me into the next one, because this is, I think, the biggest possible one that people, that holds us back as a community, as an individual even, is failure, is go out and freaking fail. Like, take it on. Because it's going to happen. I think that first chance you get to accept it's going to happen is going to be that first opportunity that you get to grow and be better. Because, like I said, it's going to happen. And so it's like, how can I overcome the fear by, well, number one, accepting that it's going to be there, it's going to occur, and say, okay, now how do I change? How do I get better? How do I overcome that? Because, it might be like, all right, I'm going to go into the gym 3 times a week. And then that first week you don't, you're like, oh, crap, I'm letting go. Here it is. That every year that I do this, it's gone. No, it's not gone. It's just you slipped up. It happens. That's life. If you have kids, if you have whatever going on, you can see, like, looking around that, like, life is going to happen. And life is going to pop up and say, guess what? I still kind of run the show. You don't have the control. So be prepared for these instances. Be prepared for failure. Be prepared that, like, if you have this great business idea, you go into it and it fails, okay. If it's like the whole movie, we bought a zoo, but then like 2 months later, every animal's dead. That's a massive failure. But you look at it and you say, okay, maybe we weren't really qualified to run a zoo. And maybe Matt Damon just wasn't good enough at that. He's a Martian. He's a number of other things, but maybe not owning a zoo, maybe that's not his thing. The failure there, the lessons that we learned is that maybe you should look at things and do a little bit more research before you dive in. And what do you feed gorillas and all that good stuff? So just understand failure is going to happen. Failure surrounds everything. It's going to be there. We're going to fail a lot of the time. For those I kind of go back to this a lot, but if you have kids, you see it. My daughter, from failure, is walking. You watched her when she was learning to walk. It was like she knew it wasn't going to be pretty. She still is when she walks. So sometimes you're like, well, are you drunk? What is in your milk? But you go through that and you're like, okay, she's not afraid. She's not afraid to fail because she knows that it's progression. For us as adults, at some point, for some of us and most of us, we've learned that failure is a bad thing. In school, if you got a bad grade, you were shunned upon. Like, why did you get a bad grade? If you got a C, like from my house, my mom was very strict on like grades. So if I had a C or if I did poorly, look back on it and say like it wasn't probably like to accept and be like, oh, it's a C, it's okay. That's not the way to go. But to look back on it and say that, okay, this is why you got a C. Maybe you procrastinated just a little too much this time. That's probably actually accurate. But you look at it and say that there's a reason why. Let's find the reason. Either make it better, improve it, change it, remove it altogether, but look at it and say that this failure is not going to hold you back from achieving the greater thing. You actually learn more from it than just staying in that common happy spot and not progressing forward. So go out and fail. You're going to be better for it, I guarantee you, because they talk about Edison, like he ever had hundreds of failed attempts at creating the light bulb and electricity and getting that to flow right. Well, if he had stopped, now somebody else would have done it. But if he had stopped, then, he would not have been able to contribute certain things to society that he had originally planned on, he had done. So look at that and say that, okay, failure is not your enemy. It's really more of a teacher. So go out and fail. And that's part of why I chose the quote we started out with today. And now kind of looking at this last two. One is be present. Be present, be in the moment. We talked about connecting. Be present. Be present with your food. Be present with your family, your friends, your surroundings, your community, your business, whatever it is. Be present. Be there. Be mindful about what you're doing. Don't just be like, yeah, that sounds great, and go through the motions of life. And before you know it, you've put on 50 pounds because you don't even know what you've been eating. You've just kind of been going around. You don't know how to cook. You've just been heating things up in a microwave. You don't know how to talk to family, to friends, to whomever, because you're not present, you're not active, and you're not engaged, you're not intentional in what you're doing. Go do that and be present. It's one of the greatest gifts you can give to people is that you are actively listening, you're actively there. I guarantee it. Because we talked about connectivity. Is like we're super connected, but most of us aren't present. Most of the people we talk to, they have their heads down, they're looking like, yeah, that sounds great. Not really listening to what you said. So be present. And that's like putting your phone down, keeping it in your pocket, turning it off. It's paying attention and repeating things back in a conversation. Be present. And when you go and you work out, be present. Understand, like we are a health-related podcast, so we're going to talk about movement. Be intentional and be present in your workouts, because if you're doing that, then you have a plan, a strategy. You can understand how to breathe through your movements. You can understand, like, okay, right here, I'm fundamentally weak. I can improve. Be present. Whoops, kick the chair. I was getting into it. Be present. And then the last one is be authentic. And I think being authentic underlies everything that we do. Are you vulnerable enough to come at people and say, I'm not good at this. I can't do this in the manner in which you're expecting it of me. This is not my strength. This is not my forte, whatever it is. Be authentic. Be honest with what bothers you. Be honest with what makes you feel good, what makes you happy. Don't do it because somebody else does it. Don't be somebody else. Be you. It's cliche and everyone says it, but there's only one you. And I talked about in the beginning is to prioritize yourself, that the greatest gift you can give back is to be the best version of you, and that includes authenticity. If you're authentic and you are who you truly are, the world is a better place because you're there and you're you. If you try to be me, not that you would want to, but if you wanted to be me and there's two Bens walking around here doing the same things, that's not productive. It's just a bunch of copycat, and it's not going to get you to move forward. It's not going to get anything to move forward if you're just copying somebody. So be you and be your authentic self. Be open, be honest. Challenge yourself to do that. And like I said, this is as much for me as it is to you to say it and to speak it into existence, because authenticity is tough. Because, it's like at times it's like, do I need to be who other people see me as, or am I going to be me? Am I going to hold back, or am I going to say what I think, what I feel? And that's a challenge for a lot of us because we don't want to upset people. We don't want conflict. We don't want things to have any type of uneasiness or tension about it, but really you have to be you. Don't go to your deathbed. Don't even go into tonight and look at it and say, like, man, I wish I would have done that and said that. Just say it. And guess what? In the long run, people are going to be more open to you, and they'll see how it is because you are you, and that's a great thing. That's, like I said, the greatest gift that you can put in this world is to be your authentic self. And I could talk about authenticity for hours, and I think I should, and we will over time, but I wanted to cap off the main points to say that being authentic underlies everything else. It underlies if you're going to prioritize yourself, because if you're not going to prioritize yourself, you're not being true to you. If you're not going to truly connect with other people, you're not being authentic, because as we are social creatures, human beings are social. We look to engage with others. Even the most introverted of us, we like the engagements. We like when people say our names. We feed off of that. We thrive off of that. So be authentic enough with other people to give them you, and in turn that could be reciprocated back, and then all of a sudden we bring truth back in the conversation. We bring truth back and honesty and openness, and then we bring authenticity back, and then we don't have to worry about a number of other issues. So be authentic there. Make art and ship it. Being you, being your true self. And so being your true self, if that's the art, then that's great. Ship it. Give it out to people. Don't just kind of do it behind closed doors. Don't do it behind, in only at work or only at home. Let everybody see how you are and your creativity. Let it flow through you, even if you don't think it. And then fail. Be authentic enough to fail. Don't try and cover up all the mishaps. Don't try and hide behind things and say, well, no, I screwed that. No, I didn't screw it up. It's just this little bump in the road, but we're good. Look at it and say, no, I made a mistake here. Cool. This is what I learned from it, and I move on. The failure is where we grow. So take that, run with it, and fail. Be authentic enough to fail. And then be present. Be in the moment. With food, most of us don't realize what we're eating or how much we're eating because we're not present. We're watching Scandal or some Netflix show or whatever it is, and we're not really engaged with the moment. I'm not saying you have to, study every bite, but I'm saying to sit there, taste your food, enjoy it, be present. We can go into conversations with people being present, but be present and let that authenticity flow through. So those are kind of the deep ones, and I wanted to get into a few of them that weren't as heavy to kind of close with, because sometimes you get all these different like feel good motivational 2016 New Year type deals. I wanted to get into a few of them that were like, oh, that's kind of fun. So in 2016, I want you to go, if you go to a bar, if you're of drinking age, of course, order something different. Don't always get the same vodka soda. Don't get the same gin and tonic. Try a different alcoholic drink. There's a ton of really awesome local breweries and wineries, probably nearby you. Here in Houston, there's a ton of good craft beer. There's a ton of good breweries. Go check something out. Go do something different. Try something else, or try a new place. Maybe go to a different bar. That's cool. Get rid of like binge watching Netflix. Now, I say this because I probably because I don't have Netflix yet. Maybe if I do ever get it, I'll be like, oh, Netflix is pretty awesome. But I'm saying, like, don't just sit there all day and watch Netflix. Read a book. Go do a new hobby. Maybe remember we talked about art, creating art. Try something different. Maybe it's cooking. Maybe it's we're going to talk all about cooking a lot in 2016. That's going to be a main focal point to improving ourselves. But maybe it's instead of cook or Netflix days, you sit there and you have like dinner with a spouse, dinner with some friends. You have them come over. You guys have a good conversation. You connect. Do something cool. So just look at it and say, I'm going to put Scandal on hold, and I'll connect. So have fun with that. Let's look at it and say that Facebook. Don't just go through and like people's Facebook pictures just because you think it's the right thing to do as a quote unquote friend. Don't do that. It's not. I mean, who are you really benefiting? Let's throw that out there. They don't care. Well, you know what? They care. There's people that are so obsessed with likes on Facebook that's problematic. But I really want you to kind of go deeper in that and say, if you can connect them in person, like, oh, that was a really cool thing that you did. That was a great picture. Don't just like it on Facebook. Go another step. Don't be so passive in that friendship status. Especially because most of us are just looking back at it and saying, like, we really are unhappy with what they're doing and what we're not doing. So, like, oh, they have this. I'm going to like it. Really, you're pissed off that you don't have it. So don't be so passive about it. Go at it and say that Facebook is not the end-all, be-all for human beings and human connectivity. And then let's not just be so wrapped up in social media. I say this as somebody who's trying to grow a business, grow a podcast, grow everything through social media. But at the same time, go outside, get some vitamin D, put the phones down. I think that's an interesting way to look at all this stuff. Just try something different. And really, it's like, I think that's one of those things. It's like, focus on you, prioritize yourself. See, we're just going to keep going back to it. I'm trying to say that there's different things, and these are a little bit more lighthearted, but really just goes back to those main tenets that we talked about earlier. And this is the last one, and this one's going to be a little bit deep, but just love yourself. You might not have the perfect body. You might not have the perfect job. You might not have the perfect anything in your eyes, but I guarantee you there's somebody out there who's looking at you and be like, I wish I had what they had. And if we spend more time in 2016 focusing on loving ourselves and giving ourselves the benefit of the doubt more often than not, we'll be better for it than worrying about, all that energy that we're going to put into hating ourselves or defeating ourselves. Man, 2016 can be a hell of a year. And so that's kind of what I want to end it on is don't guilt yourself, don't deprive yourself, don't defeat yourself, love yourself, and really look at the things you have and accept it and love it, and then see how, okay, I can improve these little things, because you need to aim for just a little better, not perfect, not perfection. Aim for a little better and keep aiming for a little bit better and better and better. And then, as my football coach said, little things turn into big things. And on that note, I think we're going to wrap this bad boy up. So I hope 2015, you end it well, you're safe, you drive safely, and 2016 starts out with a bang, and it continues throughout. I hope you have the best year of your life. I hope you continue to keep coming back to the PB and Gainz podcast, and then we are able to engage. I hope you're able to get a lot of this message that I'm sharing today and future messages. And I really am excited about the growth of what's possible is for not only myself, the podcast, but for you. I really am excited for what we're capable of doing. So let's make 2016 fantastic and really, really badass. So on that note, if you enjoyed this podcast or any of the other ones, would love it if you could share it with a friend or give us a review on iTunes, because that helps us grow the podcast and it helps us learn what we need to get better at. So always good benefit from that. So I really appreciate your time again today. I appreciate your time throughout this past year in 2015, and I look to see you guys on the other side in 2016. So have a great day, and I'll see you guys next week. Happy New Year.